Welcome to today's Thrive a Life episode regarding how to create your highest and your best life after narcissistic abuse. Today, I want to talk to you about how I fill my life with love every single day. But don't be mistaken, this is not some fluffy new age speech, because life isn't always about everything being just sweet, wonderful, and lovely. It's not that at all. And it's actually not what love is. Love is a lot more realistic than that. So I really do hope that today, sharing my journey of experiencing profound love can help inspire you to know that love is the supreme force, no matter what our circumstances may look like. And of course, I understand that's not always easy to know. All right, so before we launch into this topic, I'd like to thank all of you who have subscribed to my channel, because your support for the Thriver mission is so appreciated by me. Also, please remember to like this video if it speaks to you and share with others who you know could benefit from it. All right, so on to today's episode. Let's start off with looking at what is love really? So much of my alignment with life to experience real love is spiritual. I'm talking about a higher power, because this is where I've found the consistent, never wavering stream of love and well-being that is my life. But please know, this doesn't mean that I'm necessarily religious or that I have a connection with any particular higher deity. Rather, I believe that God, or what you may call consciousness or creation or the universe or any denominational deity of your choice or any word, I believe this force is everywhere and it's in all things. Another name for this force is love, which is also everywhere and in all things. Additionally, this force is benevolent. It's acting for us and not to us. Mind you, I didn't always believe this. Previously, I believed that this force had turned its back on me and was even punishing me. Since thriving, I know this force is always partnering with me, granting me what I need to become more loving, even though my personality, especially when it used to be in control of my life, can be annoyed at not getting what I think I want. I've discovered that when people and situations are not reflecting love back to me, and I'm judging this as unloving, instead of seeing the deeper purpose behind it, I struggle to love myself and others as well as life itself. To me, love is more about letting go rather than trying to be loving. Let me explain. The letting go is the dropping of judgment, letting go of blame and shame, letting go of victimized feelings and believing that life has somehow got this wrong. Love is acceptance, that there is a purpose to what is happening, no matter how it seems. Via the quantum truth, so within, so without, life is always reflecting back to us more of ourselves. The unhealed part of ourselves, or the parts of ourselves that are stuck in fear and trauma and are handing our power away and have not yet claimed the true power of authentic love for who we really are. That's when, life's not going great. It's one of those things. Trying to be love is ineffective. Usually this leads to trying to earn love. The real truth is we already are love. We don't have to try to be love. We already are a part of all that is, which is love. And we automatically remember this as a coded truth when we let go of all of the judgment and trauma that has kept us stuck in unconsciousness. meaning the disconnection from our true essence. As soon as we start to release the trauma that is not who we are, we reset back to who we really are organically, and that is love. I promise you, it took me decades of my life to understand this, but the real job is to return to love, to know ourselves as all of creation knows us. Love is not something that we cultivate. It naturally arises as a result of letting go of the trauma, false beliefs and lies that have stopped us knowing and being ourselves. That's what I believe. Let's have a deeper look at real love. We may have been indoctrinated to believe that love is sweet and innocent and it's always gentle. It's not. Real love is truthful. It's based in honest authenticity. Love can be fierce. Real love makes the hard and tough decisions, such as having the difficult conversations, confronting, laying boundaries and saying, this situation and person is not my reality. I'm loving enough not to try to change or force somebody to be what I need them to be in order to be happy. Real love releases. Love sets free. Love does not seek to cling, control, or change or force anything. Love, when basking in authenticity, has no need to. Love inspires people and situations which have the capacity to love. Most of all, real love does not hold others responsible for one's own feelings and life. Real love knows that loving oneself is between self and one's higher wisdom power, and that all of love comes from there. All right, so I'm going to share with you my daily love routine. This is how my life goes every day, like this. I either have beautiful, heartwarming experiences or not. I am completely orientated and dedicated to the following: being self-partnered regardless of what my experiences are, because this is what real love is all about. And if I have any experience that throws me out of my self-partnered wholeness, then I'm fully dedicated to reaching inside my being with Quantum Freedom Healing, which is NARP, finding the corresponding trauma within me that is triggered and releasing it, and then bringing in more of Source, which is my higher power, which is consciousness, to replace where the trauma once was. This effectively midwives this breakdown straight through to a breakthrough. And then I immediately feel my inner wholeness again, even better than before this up-leveling opportunity. And if there are no triggers in my day, then I just get to enjoy my wholeness and an incredible flow and gratitude for the amazing things that unfold each and every day in my life, no matter how big or small. And what's interesting is whether or not something triggers me or whether or not something does, I have zero preference for either scenario. Each is equally blessed and blissful, because they all lead to home. None of this being love is an effort. None of this feeling loved needs to be strived for. That's just what being self-partnered and orientated towards inner wholeness brings. That's my daily love routine. That's it. And since living life by this partnered formula every day, this is what I've discovered about love. I have no expectation, necessity, or requirement for anything nice to happen for me to be loving or feel love. Love just is. And real love between self and life does not mean that you're an island who will not connect with other people. What I discovered is that the more healthily self-partnered I became, the more love, connection, and approval flooded into my life, which of course was more of my own self-partnering. Because truly everything is interconnected as one in love. I want to talk about when the neediness is gone, love arrives. Before I used quantum freedom healing, the NARP processes, as my daily self-partnering tool, I did constantly get triggered, absolutely. And I would feel like I needed my expectations to be filled in order to try to feel good about myself. My life was precariously poised on what other people thought of me and how they treated me. If people weren't loving me, then I didn't know how to feel lovable or be loved. This is what I now know. When you're dedicated to your wholeness, there's absolutely no need for anybody or anything at all, to come to you to feel whole, because you already are. The complete and utter irony of all of this is that we used to believe that we had to get certain things in order to feel whole. Rather, it's the wholeness anchored in love, which really just means freeing ourselves to be our true self without trauma. That's all that wholeness is. That's what it is. And when we have that, it makes the doing and the getting of love and the extension of who we're already being effortless. I really believe that when you no longer need something and you're not terrified about losing it because you're already whole, you already have the feeling regardless of anything, that's when you have the greatest freedom to generate it, attract it, maintain it, and actually fully enjoy it unconditionally. That's what love does and is. So I really hope that this episode has made a lot of sense to you and that you can deeply feel the cellular truth of it in your body, because that's how you know when something is true or not. That's where your truth speaks to you, in your emotional resonance of how you feel in your body about it. And if you know that it is your time to return to love, to who you really are, then I'd love to take you by the hand and show you how. And it's so much more pure and simple than you think, and nowhere near as scary as you may imagine. Actually, living life out of self-partnering is incredibly scary. So come with me by clicking the link at the top right of this video. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And remember, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so, because you're going to be notified about my 2 new videos each and every week. And as always, I am so looking forward to answering your comments and your questions below. So this is it. And I really want you to know that I love you and I want you to love you. And remember, after narcissistic abuse, we take our life so much further because we can. Lots of love. Bye-bye.